So, for example, like there's often a question in terms of estates, like whether or not what you have to disclose to a buyer
Mhm.
in terms of, listing. And there is a seller's disclosure law. I'm sure you're aware of that, that, sellers have to disclose, what they know about the property, but there is an exemption for estates and estate administrators. So technically speaking, if you're an executor, of an estate and you're working to sell a property, you do not have to complete a seller's disclosure form. That being said, I always do tell the clients that I work with that if you know something and, it's a material thing, you're probably better off to disclose it in writing in the agreement, because the last thing you want to do is go through a settlement or get close to a settlement and have the buyer either pull out, or at the end you sign all the paperwork and 2 weeks later the buyer comes back and says, there's this major leak, there's mold, I think you knew about it or you should have known about it and you never told me. And then you're fighting about it, after the
Mhm.
closing and spending the money that you made from the closing on legal fees and court costs to battle that issue. So one thing that I always tell clients is, just if there's something, it's better to just disclose it upfront in writing so that there's no question and the buyer is aware when they're signing what they're getting into.